Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Emily Killeen, 4-H agent for El Paso County, and I'm almost a year in as the new 4-H agent here, and we're 6 months into our 4-H year. So since we're halfway through the year, I thought I'd come and give an update of what the 4-H Youth Development Program is doing in El Paso County. So our mission in 4-H is to help youth become capable, contributing, caring citizens. And one of the ways we communicate that message is to say that we are education for life. So through our many 4-H interest areas, what we call 4-H projects, youth, it doesn't matter whether they're participating in training a dog or learning to hike and backpack, it's through those different project interest areas that youth are learning life skills. So our volunteers are trained in intentionally planning programs that will result in youth learning the variety of life skills that you see there on the slide. I also provided you with a handout that you can peruse that life skills wheel later if you'd like to do so. And we also say that 4-H is a prevention program, and our approach to prevention is actually preparation. So rather than just targeting the risk and warning kids about the dangers of some of the things that will get them in trouble or lead to some unhealthy choices, we prepare youth through these different life skills. So the making a good decision, problem solving, communication skills, leadership skills is our approach to preparing youth to become those capable, contributing, caring citizens. So one of the things that we're doing right now is a lot of outreach into the community. We actually just started a 4-H ambassador program, so we feel it's our youth that can share the message of what 4-H is all about. And so we have a new group of 4-H ambassadors that are out in community, starting to do community events, getting trained in customer service and public relations. So hopefully you'll see them out and about this summer once school gets out, a little bit more active in the community. So they're learning how to communicate with different individuals that they might encounter, whether it's a commissioner or a teacher or a parent, and communicating what the 4-H message is to those different players. A lot of the events we're doing is targeting urban youth. Currently, right now, our 4-H program is just a little over half of our youth are living in a rural environment, and just under half, it's almost 50-50, are in an urban environment. But since El Paso County is heavily urban, we're trying to recruit more urban youth to the program. I'm also heavily involved in what's called the Colorado Community Center Collaborative. I'm a new leadership team member and working with other youth-serving organizations and organizations that are focused on community health and how youth development can help us strengthen our community and improve our community health. Our special interest programs. So we have a strong 4-H club program in El Paso County, but we're also helping youth have 4-H experiences in what we call other delivery modes. So we're providing short-term special interest programs. We just launched our Creativity Festivity series, which is an art-based program. It's for the whole family, so parents and their youth, grandparents, we've had multiple generational groups participating. So it's through an art experience that we're emphasizing the life skill development and family communication and bonding. And one of the life skills we emphasized in that program recently was motivation. One of the things those of us in the youth development world are talking about is motivating youth, helping them pursue something they're interested in, and then that carries into a career. So 100% of the participants at that activity, which was 6 hours of programming over 3 evenings, all indicated that they were more motivated to pursue art as an activity in the future. And we like to see those kinds of results because when youth discover what their spark is, that thing that they're really passionate about, we're finding that then they're motivated to look to the future and set goals and pursue things that will help them become those capable, contributing, caring citizens. So we're day camps, short-term special interest programs like series of workshops. We also recently held a big mini conference called our 4-H Super Saturday. 18% of the youth participating in that event, it was their first 4-H experience. In our Creativity Festivities series, 30% of the participants, it was their first 4-H experience. So through these other delivery modes, we're hoping individuals will get a taste of 4-H and then pursue the 4-H club program, which is a year-long program. Along the lines of my involvement in the Community Center Collaborative, we're really focusing on health and safety. One of the programs that we're working on right now is our 4-H youth and our dog project are being trained and mobilized to do dog safety programs. So we've participated in safety events with law enforcement, but we're also going to be in the libraries this summer, training families and about dog safety. What do you do when a dog approaches you that seems aggressive or you don't know? And so those individuals are staying safe. So being visible in the community, but also providing some education. Hopefully those kinds of activities will help share what our 4-H youth know with the community, but then also give folks their first experience with 4-H, and again, help them encourage them to pursue the 4-H club program as an option for their families. And since we are a life skill program, our other photo here where the youth are around the easel paper there, creating our best us. So when I go in and do a program, I was invited to a community center to do a program about recycling and composting, but because our focus is life skill development, I went in and I helped the youth do an activity in the beginning to ensure that before we started learning about composting and recycling, that we were going to treat each other with respect. So we were setting up a safe learning environment. So by doing activities like creating a best us, which is our group norms or our community agreement for that kind of activity, the youth agreed, give them some voice into their learning environment of how they were going to be when they were learning in that educational environment together. So our 4-H's, the head, heart, hands, and health. So we're really looking at the whole child, that life skill development to help them become those capable, contributing, caring citizens. When we do a program, our focus is on the educational piece. If you think about 4-H as in a pyramid, the bottom of our pyramid, the most important piece, the largest piece is education. And then recreation, we want the kids to have fun and enjoy that learning environment. And then the competition piece is that smaller piece at the top of the triangle. So we're really looking to develop the head, the decision-making, the problem-solving, that life skill knowledge gain, the heart, having concern for others and empathy. Hands, we provide a hands-on learning environment because we know from research that if you're involved in hands-on learning and linking that learning to a real-life situation, that's going to be a much more meaningful and impactful learning environment. And then health being our 4th H. We're really focusing on getting involved in partnerships, working with those other health organizations and youth-serving organizations to focus on our community health through that life skill development. So again, the preparation as a form of prevention, rather than just focusing on the risk, we're focusing on the whole child. All right, any questions?
How many youth are involved in our 4-H program here? And I mean, I don't know if you have statistics about how we've fared over the years and where we are today in terms of certain age groups and who all is participating.
Currently, we're halfway in. We're 6 months into the program. We have 470 youth currently enrolled, and I anticipate that will continue to grow. Our trend the last couple of years was to be around 500 or just over that. I anticipate that with the other outreach methods that we're using, that we're going to far exceed that 500 mark this year.
Great.
Usually we have around 200, 225 volunteers. We currently have 194 in our enrollment database. I have a lot more in the queue to do training, so we've implemented this year a new training program for all our volunteers. So new individuals go through 3-part volunteer leader training, and all our returning volunteers this year have gone through a refresher. So to ensure that we have a high quality program and that our focus is on that life skill development.
Let's say you're a city kid, because I think there tends to be sort of a perception that it's only for agricultural and kids that may live out in the country, and that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of different opportunities, or maybe for kids who live in the city to understand a little bit about country life as well. But how are you doing the outreach to kind of connect with the higher population, more urban, to introduce them to 4-H?
So one, again, is we're mobilizing those 4-H ambassadors, and they're participating and attending venues that would typically attract those urban audiences. So they're spreading the message just like you were articulating, that 4-H is for everyone. It's not just for those that live in a rural farm type environment. We're also doing what I call taking programs to the audience. So our programs are always open to everyone, and we invite folks, but sometimes if you don't already feel like that is a program for you, it's hard to feel like you would want to pursue that option. So by taking programs, for example, where the youth are already gathering at their school, at their community center, we're using that approach. And then we're trying these other delivery modes. So our first creativity festivity art workshop was, I think, very successful for our first time out. We filled our conference room with a good representation of those who are already in the 4-H program, but 30% new families. We held that at our extension office. And so a few different things there. Different delivery modes, letting folks get a taste of 4-H. So you're not making that full year
Right.
commitment. People seem willing to come in and try something a few times, and then we hope then that they'll pursue some more involvement.
If there's any way that we can be engaged more with some of the kids in 4-H, maybe to come and talk about civics, to talk about, our Constitution, to talk about things that, and introduce them to the county commissioners and county government, that would be great. And I mean, we could come to you rather than making them come to us. If you have opportunities for us to speak, I'm sure all 5 of us would at some point be happy to come and just speak to some of your classes. So just please let us know how we can be engaged in that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your work.
All right.